Peace Collective. What's going on? Welcome to the channel. My name is Milan. I am an intuitive tarot reader and psychic medium. If you guys are new here to this channel, welcome. If you guys are returning, welcome back. It means the world to me each and every single time you guys join. Thank you guys times 1,000 for being here and for deciding to spend your time and your energy here with me in these readings. As you guys know, this is going to be another general collective reading. However, we're going to get into another deep dive today. As you can tell by the title, we're going to tap into the energy around Tory Lanez at this time. If you guys are ever interested in readings that look more into celebrity culture, the entertainment industry, music, sometimes politics, you guys can find more readings just like this one on my playlist. It's called the Deep Dive series, and you'll find more readings just like this one. This channel does offer love readings. We do live streams every once in a while. I do offer personals as well. All that information is going to be in the description box down below, like always. Just as a quick disclaimer, you guys, this is not a fan page. This is not a stan page or anything of the sort. Everything in this reading is alleged until proven otherwise and for entertainment purposes only, okay? Make sure you guys take what resonates and leave the rest. If the message does not apply for you, you don't like the subject matter, it's no big deal just to click off the reading. All I ask is that you guys keep it respectful, not just with me, but with other people who decide to jump into the comments as well, okay? So at the time of this recording, we have just exited out of a blood moon lunar eclipse in Virgo. So how are you guys feeling? I hope you guys are doing well and staying very grounded at this time. Eclipse energy, full moons in general can be a little chaotic. So I hope you guys are feeling great. So regarding this energy with Tory, as you guys know, if you've been following this situation for the last 5 to 6 years, then you know that he's been in a very heavy process when it comes to getting an appeal through the state of California. So if I'm not mistaken, the last stretch that just passed over the last few weeks, I believe he was waiting to see whether or not the Supreme Court would look into his appeal, or I don't want to say like accept or reject it, but just to look into it. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe the Supreme Court recently rejected the appeal, essentially, or even to look into the appeal case. So it almost feels like we're right back at square one, okay? For those of you that have been holding the vision, holding the faith, then you know this is not the end of this story, okay? It may just be a bit of a pause or a break until something really cracks, the foundation officially cracks. Because if you guys are keeping up with what's going on with Trump, Gavin Newsom, just Rock Nation in general, the foundation is crumbling. Okay, so as that continues to crumble, it'll leave room and space for other things to be brought to the surface. Okay, so we're gonna just tap right into this. I have a King of Wands here to represent Tory, being that he is a Leo. Okay, actually the planet Jupiter is moving into the sign of Leo, I believe in June or July of this year. So Jupiter is the planet of auspicious luck, right? Good luck. Things moving in your favor, sometimes religion and spirituality as well. So for all of you Leos out there, you can expect a very auspicious next year into 2027, okay? Including Tory. So we're going to get right into this. We're going to get a couple oracle cards first, and then we'll dive into the tarot a little bit later to clarify, just to kind of tap in and see where his energy is at this time, okay? We're going to start with this Moonology oracle. Like I just said, we just got out of a lunar eclipse in Virgo, so I wanted to stick onto this theme of the Moonology cards. If somebody wants to timestamp the reading, you are more than welcome to. Thank you very kindly ahead of time, okay? Please give us those clear and concise messages when it comes to Tory Lanez at this time, please and thank you. Current energy surrounding Tory at this time, please and thank you. Anytime I've ever tapped into Tory's energy during this process, he always has, or seems to have, at least from a mediumship perspective, he always seems to have this very sunny disposition. He never seems to be wavered in his faith at all. No matter, regardless of the situation he's in, and he's always in the energy of trying to help and educate and do things for other people that he's around while he's locked up. So he's a very selfless person, not so much selfish, okay? So we have full moon in Taurus here that showed up. It says your dreams need a practical plan. Now, Taurus energy can be a little stubborn sometimes, it's kind of like an immovable force. Yeah, so you see like this bull right in the middle of the car. I know it's a little hard to see in the camera, but there's a giant bull in the middle of that full moon. So I feel like the moon in Taurus is actually a very comfortable place. But still, again, Taurus energy is still very stubborn. So he could be holding the faith or holding the vision, right? Seeing the bigger picture, but with this stubborn bull energy, it could feel as though things feel a little stunted or halted right now, okay? So it's as if maybe him and his team are needing to kind of rewrite and think of another plan of action. Since, again, it kind of feels like we're back almost at square one, almost. Wow, and this card says, look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. I literally just said that before I flipped the deck over. He could still see the bigger picture, but it could still feel a little stunted or halted right now with that stubborn, immovable force Taurus energy, okay? Guys, in here, please. You're very close to achieving your goal, so that's great. Another full moon energy, okay? Gibbous moon, that's right before the full moon goes into full illumination. So you are very close to achieving your goal. So he knows that he has to keep the faith. He knows that he can't waver in his faith right now. That can be another thing going hand in hand with this Taurus energy. If you have Taurus in your chart very heavily, or you're involved with one, then you know it's very hard to change their mind, change their perspective. They can get very comfortable where they're at sometimes, which again makes it a little hard to get out of their comfort zone a little bit. But he knows he can't get comfortable. Now, who would get comfortable in a prison, right? That, depending how long your bid is, you might have to get comfortable, but he's not in the space of trying to get too comfortable in that place, you know, especially with being so close to achieving the goal. It's like he knows in his spirit, his heart, his intuition, he knows something is this close, even though it may feel a little stagnated right now, okay? Let me get another one of these, please, and thank you. I'm hearing one of his songs from his latest album, Peterson. He has a song on there called Free Me. It's really good. I feel like even if you're not a Tory Lanez fan, like that song just hits for real. If you're going through something, feeling unheard or unseen, Free Me by Tory Lanez, that is a really good song. But he has a lyric in that song where he says, staring out the window of my jail cell, talking to the moon. You can hear me up in heaven, know that I'll be home soon. So yeah, sorry if I butchered the lyrics a little bit, but that's pretty much what he says. Staring at the moon out of the jail cell window. So holding the faith is difficult, but he knows he won't get where he needs to be if he doesn't. So he's very aware of that. Oh, the energy is gaining momentum. Nice. So I told you it's like, ooh, the thing with this moon, this full moon eclipse we just had, make sure you guys check out my full moon eclipse breakdown that I just posted. But it's like the feeling of knowing something's about to shift or getting prepared for the shift before the actual shift occurs. That makes so much sense with this being here. The energy is gaining momentum, even if it feels a little stagnated, because Virgo energy is not looking for dramatics. It's not looking to be validated or recognized on a public scale, maybe like Leo energy is, right? So it's very subtle, but it's very real. It's very deep. The feeling of the shift before the shift actually occurs. Okay, so that's good. The energy is gaining momentum. I like to see that. Okay, what is this? Let me get one more, please. So he knows it's like that feeling of knowing, even though you don't see something moving right away. And that is so important. That is so important. Knowing that something is going to work before you see results, okay? That's real faith. Continuing to show up or be consistent even when you're not seeing results. Now, what is this, please? And then prosperity lies ahead. More Taurus energy. However, this is a new moon in Taurus, okay? He could have Taurus somewhere in his birth chart, but Taurus rules over the banking systems, financial matters, okay? So I I don't necessarily think he's, you know, struggling too much financially, like monetarily wise, but yeah, prosperity lies ahead. Again, it may seem a little dark, things being unseen. I just said that, how real genuine faith is when you continue to show up and show consistency, persistency, even when you don't see results. But either way, you still feel it, is kind of what I'm getting from him, okay? Prosperity lies ahead. So that's really good. Now, in order to reach prosperity, right, your dreams and your goals need a practical plan. Hence why I said a few minutes ago, him and his team may kind of need to be going back to the drawing board and figuring out what to do next, because it almost kind of feels like we're back at square one, even though we're not. It just kind of feels like that. Again, this Taurus energy, a little stagnated, a little stubborn, not moving right now, okay? So let me get rid of this. Super moon, emotions are running high. So, you know, I can imagine getting that news that another piece of, you know, filing paperwork was rejected. I know that shit had to have hit real hard, but there's a much bigger picture here, okay? So let's get out of that. And he knows that. Not just us public, not just us, you know, people that have been following this for a while, knowing intuitively what really is going on. It's still not easy to maintain this amount of faith the way that he does. I mean, it really just amazes me, if I'm going to be honest with you guys. But let's see. We're going to get into another deck. We're going to get into another oracle deck. We're going to tap into the tarot a little bit later. What is his current energy at this time? Please and thank you. When it comes to Tory. Ooh. Okay. Ooh, time traveler, temporal, future, past, and time machine. Then you have dwarf here showing up. It says strength, mining, solidarity, craftsmanship, and underground. Okay. Again, I feel like with this craftsmanship, and it's like kind of having to figure out or work out another game plan, but future, past, and time machine. What is this time traveler about? What is this time traveler about, please? And if I pause for a minute, you guys, I apologize. It's because I'm channeling. So if I'm not getting a message clearly, then I'm not going to just say something random and make some shit up. I'm going to continue to clarify if it's not coming through clearly. But what is this? Oh, aristocrat, autocrat. Wow. Okay. Fuck. Tyrant, oppressive, centralized control. So, okay, thank you. That makes sense. So, yeah, like the people, obviously the elites, the blue blood, okay, the people at the top of this of the food chain, and his situation being obviously the powers that be that are kind of behind what's going on with him. Okay, if you want to just say it outright, the state of California, Rock Nation, Jay-Z, Desiree Perez, okay, they are very much so hand in hand with the actual centralized control, which would be more so the government, okay? And you see how this time traveler card, it's like a person in a black cloak, a hood. You can't even see who they are. So these people are very prominent, very powerful, but it's like you would never know who they are unless you were in the club, okay? Now, this card came out in my Donald Trump reading I just posted recently. It's as if someone who got into the club who was never supposed to be in the club in the first place, okay? I just heard like my fate lies in their hands. My fate lies in their hands. I want to correct that because no, your fate lies in God's hands, okay? But I can see why he may feel that way. Like my fate solely lies in these people's hands, okay? These aristocrats, again, the powers that be, maybe more of the hats that, I want to say the small hats, okay, behind the scenes. And then you have the autocrat, the actual real centralized control who also control these people, okay? The label execs, the big wigs, again, the people, behind the scenes that you don't see unless you're in the club for real, making all of these decisions and pulling all of these strings. So he knows that he's, kind of the small guy, not, no pun intended. Let's not making this about no short jokes, but he technically is the small guy, the dwarf, when it comes to these centralized, control, oppressive type of energies. The energy is gaining momentum here, though. It's almost like he could have somebody someone in a very high place, or someone who is connected to another person in a very high place that is like working with him or trying to get the ball rolling. Damn, I just mentioned Donald Trump. Allegedly entertainment purposes only. Maybe I'll look into that a little bit later, his relationship with Donald Trump, because I did a reading between Tory and Nicki Minaj months ago. You guys are gonna have to go on my playlist, the deep dive series playlist, to find it. But they are very much so connected, Tory and Nicki, and we know Nicki is very connected to Trump. So, does 1 + 1 = 2? Usually it does. I'm not gonna sit there. I'm not gonna stay there for too long, but that could be the person he has in a very high place that's also connected to someone else in a very high place. Allegedly entertainment purposes only. Okay. But let's see. Let me like 1 or 2 more of these, please. So yeah, he knows he's up against a very strong, heavy machine here, and yeah, and that's why I had to correct the energy. It was like, no, your fate lies in these people's hands for only a certain period of time. Your fate overall lies only in God's hands, So, Survivor just tried to show up. Okay, resilience, adaptability, and lucky. Let me see, we 1 or 2 more of these, please. Victim. Wow, okay. Looks like a small white cow here. Sufferer, target, prey, afflicted, and vulnerable. So, he does, as much as he doesn't like to be in victimhood, victim mentality, technically he kind of is a victim here. I just heard a victim of a crime. Now, we are fully aware Tory was, almost lost his life damn near months ago when he was attacked and stabbed multiple times. He actually ended up having to get transferred to another facility. So he was definitely targeted here. He's feeling very emotionally vulnerable, but in the same breath, again, trying to hold the vision and hold the faith. That's very unwavering for him, even though at times, of course, it gets very difficult. And we're in the middle of a Mercury retrograde right now, so I can only imagine those thoughts or those heightened emotions of not thinking something is going to work are creeping back up. What is this? So yeah, he is definitely targeted. Okay, what is this? Buddhist. Okay, meditation, Zen, and serenity is showing up here. He really tries to like mind his business. He's a very like well-liked individual in the position that he's in. I know it's tough. It's not fucking easy. If you've ever been with somebody or you yourself have been incarcerated, then you know it's not cheap and it's not fucking easy. Emotionally, spiritually, none of that. So he could like help other people try to pray or navigate their relationship with God, because he seems to be in a very secure place with his relationship with God. So he could try to help other people get out of that victimhood mindset, because he doesn't like to be there, even in his situation, He could meditate or show other people how to meditate as well, as what I'm seeing with this. And again, with Donald Trump, it's so weird. I don't know why his energy keeps popping up, but the reading I just did on Donald Trump, he got these cards too. This aristocrat and Buddhist. So with Donald Trump's energy, it's like you got into the club that you were never supposed to be in the first place. But with this Buddhist energy, it's like, you can socialize and get along with some of these people, but at the end of the day, it's like you're really to yourself, or you're excommunicated from these people. I got the same cards that showed it for him. So we're working on his mental health, and his peace is most important, considering the situation he's in right now for Tory, for sure. Okay. Excommunicate. I don't even know why I use that word. I don't even talk like that. I don't know the last time I even heard that word. Excommunicated, exiled. Okay, so Tory could feel very excommunicated or exiled just by society in general right now. Okay, ooh, and gold digger. Wow, okay, opportunistic, greed, exploitation, and selfishness. That is crazy because I got the same. This card came out in Trump reading too. But not so much with him being the opportunistic, exploitive person with greed, but the people that he's trying to stay away from or expose are very opportunistic and exploit the American people. So I just said how Tory could feel a little excommunicated or exiled. He could feel, exploited in this situation. Exploited by who? Tyrants, oppressive, centralized control. And it's a tough situation because Tory's case is not federal, it's a state case. So there's literally only so much that, the president can do. You couldn't really get a presidential pardon. Whether you like Tory or not, it doesn't matter. He couldn't get a presidential pardon anyway. But he does feel like his situation is being exploited here. Yeah, look, wow. You can't make this up. Slave and vampire. Make sure y'all go back and check my Donald Trump reading if you haven't already. That energy of vampire, feeling cursed, the bloodsuckers of the industry, again, in these clubs, in these circles that people like Tory and Donald Trump and Nicki Minaj were never supposed to be a part of in the first place. Here it is again at the bottom. And you have puppet, manipulation, pulling the strings, feeder, obedience, and a slave. Literally, like being a slave to these bloodsuckers. Oh, you have fairy here. Yep. Enchantment, sprites, magic, and glitter. That goes hand in hand with this vampire energy. Obviously, he's in a tough situation here, locked up, right? Oppression, chains, struggle, liberation. Liberation means freedom. So damn, it's like this whole situation has been controlled and manipulated, keeping people oppressed from the truth. With these vampires, it's like they're like the focal center point for a lot of this bullshit. These bloodsucker nobility people. That is crazy. Wow. Okay. And he knows, like, whoever the person is in this oppressive, centralized control, when it comes to California, you guys know exactly who I'm talking about, Mr. Newsom, using the situation for greed, exploiting his situation, maybe for like political power, political gain. So it's as if like the more he sits in this situation, the more he realizes and understands that this is a political ploy. It's not even just about music or Megan, none of that. Like, it's so much deeper than that. Wow. You can't make this stuff up. Oh. Wow. I was about to put the deck away. You want to see what just fell out? The chosen one. You can't make this shit up. Destiny, prophecy, selected, mission, and a prodigy with the vampires at the bottom. Yeah, you didn't want to play the game. You didn't want to be one of ours. You think you're special. You think you're some type of chosen one. Watch how we do this. Just watch how we do things. Watch how we do this. Wow, you can't make this up. So that's could really be how he feels. Like he's a prophet, or, well, I don't want to say that, but he could feel like this is a prophecy about to be fulfilled. This is destiny. Like, all of this that's playing out is not for no reason. It's almost as if he's finally realizing and coming to the understanding, or more, a better understanding, that he is also being used, okay, but being used by God and being used by the Most High, and that there's a major foundation that is about to crack and unearth so many other things before it can get to him, before he's liberated. So all of this is it's like a moving chess piece, or moving chess pieces before his chess piece is selected, you know? Wow. So, that is crazy. That is crazy. In a good way, okay? But let's get into one more oracle deck, you guys, and then we're going to get into the tarot. This is making any sense to y'all. Definitely leave a like on the video, share if you care. Let me know what you know. Wow, these political leaders, man. Gavin Newsom's a pretty good looking guy, but he's got an ugly fucking spirit, man. A lot of shit's gonna come out about him too. It's as if all that shit needs to happen first, or at least the dominoes need to start falling before we go back to Tory. And then it's gonna make so much more sense. It's gonna the groundwork has to be laid out first, basically. And he's having more understanding of that day by day by day. It's kind of what it's giving. I just heard, I see what you're doing. I literally just heard that. I see what you're doing. And that could be him, you know, maybe in his meditative state, or when he's praying, talking to God. Like, I see what you're doing, God. You know, I see what you're doing. What is this, please? Oh, gaslighted. Okay, it says reality distortion. Emotional manipulation. We just saw the puppeteer card, okay? Questioning your sanity. You're imagining things. I don't remember the last time I did a Tory reading, but I definitely remember seeing this card. You know, this situation may sometimes start to make him feel like, am I tripping? Like, did I actually really do something to this girl and I just didn't realize it? You know, like you start to second guess yourself. Or there's so much manipulation and gaslighting going on, it's making the public feel confused. And he knows that these people are gaslighting the public, basically. Or he could even feel a little gaslit. It's like, I'm thinking things are about to go off or about to, you know, hit the ground running. We've got this appeal going, and then it's like roadblock every time. Or it's stopped every time. Which could in turn make him start to feel a little gaslit or manipulated, like, is my team working for the state government too? Or so there are times where he does get a little emotionally out of body, where he'll have to really kind of regroup and come back to earth and ground a little bit, you know? And being locked up in prison with people who are not all the way sound like that sometimes, it can be very difficult. Let me see. Big break. Wow. I don't know if the ones that are familiar with my channel, or maybe we've talked personally, I've had this reoccurring vision for at least the last 6 months, probably more than that, of Tory performing a huge concert. The place was packed. It was him performing songs off of his Peterson album, and I saw Chris Brown like just dancing on the side of the stage. Him and Chris Brown are really cool. That's funny because you have a lot of Taurus energy here. But anyway, I keep getting that reoccurring vision. Like when I say this music event venue is packed the fuck out with Tory performing, and he had Chris Brown there on the side supporting him, you have Big Break showing up. Career turning point is what it says. Major opportunity, life-changing moment, and this is it. It's like you finally get that call, you finally get the results or the answers you were looking for. And I just said a little while ago how real, genuine faith is continuing to show up, continuing to hold the vision, continuing to show consistency without seeing those results yet. And that's what he's been doing. So, and one of these cards even says you're very close to achieving your goal. Obviously, his goal would be what? To get home. So yeah, he finds himself kind of dancing in between the energy of feeling gaslit. Oh my gosh, like what's going on? Or do I really deserve to be here? And Big Break. Like, yes, like something here's about to shift. It's about to change. I'm about to get that phone call, or I'm about to get that letter, that message that I need. So it's really about kind of having to, even in our own personal lives, kind of have to recognize when we are allowing our fears or the negative projections to take over, and kind of having to regroup and reset to get back grounded to reality. Okay, that's kind of what I'm seeing with him a lot with this. What is this? Career turning point, major opportunity, a life-changing moment. Soul contract just showed up. Okay, faded connections, karmic relationships, spiritual agreements, and destined to meet. Didn't I just see a card that said that? Something about destiny or fate? Oh yeah, the chosen one card I just saw. Like something here is destined to happen. Now, with this faded connections and karmic relationships destined to meet. I mentioned earlier how he could be in connection with somebody who is, you know, of very high importance, that is in connection with more people who are of even higher importance in very important places. Okay, like say for example, like you work at a company and maybe, you know, you're really close with the branch owner. Now, you, just because you're close with the branch owner, now you can go ahead and have a sit down meeting with the CEO, just for the simple fact you have a close relationship with the branch owner, just as an example, right? So that's kind of what I'm seeing going on here. And whoever this person is that he knows that's a very high status, that knows someone else of even higher status that can help him, it's going to change the whole dynamic. It's going to change the whole situation. Okay, I don't see him signing any type of deal or a contract necessarily as far as music goes, because he's, you know, been independent for quite some time now. But this could be like a tour contract, because I definitely see him going on a tour. How long is that going to take, or how long that's going to be, I don't know. Because I'm sure after the first week, your first thought is not to go on a tour when you get out of jail. But I've definitely already seen it, okay? And commitment issues is showing up. Afraid to settle down, avoiding intimacy, fear of loss or freedom. It's complicated. That's so funny, because I was just saying how I don't see him signing another contract musically. That could have really scarred him. Like the experience with the industry and these labels. Again, with this gold digger card, like they will exploit you. It's all for their own opportunistic greed. They don't give a damn about the artist. Hence his hesitation now, or looking at things kind of sideways when it comes to the music industry, signing deals and things like that. But I do see him wanting to go on tour, or at least, you know, do some shows. And I'm telling you, these places are gonna be fucking packed. Like you're not like, these places are gonna be fucking packed, like from wall to wall. No pun intended with Chris Brown, but yeah. You have life lessons, okay? Lessons learned, wisdom gained, completing your cycles, growth through experience. I'm wiser now. So that makes a lot of sense. He's in a much different place than he was before he went to jail, before he got locked up, before he got sentenced, all of that. He's in a much different place. He could even, I said this before, he could try to help or teach people when it comes to building their relationship with God, or how to meditate, how to pray. He could be, you know, showing people like what verses to read in the Bible when they're going through something specific. I mean, people hold him in a very high regard. I know he's not like in no gang or nothing like that, but he's the type of person that will rise to the ranks real fast in his cell block or whatever. It's like, if he's rocking with me, nobody's touching him, nobody's fucking with him. Like, they look out for him because he looks out for others. You know, not just maybe financially, but spiritually as well, emotionally. He really looks out for folks, so they look out for him. Okay, well, let's get into the tarot. I wasn't sure what deck I wanted to use. Let's use the Rainbow Fairy. Let's use this one. But we're gonna get into the tarot, you guys. If this makes any sense to y'all, if you resonate with this, definitely let me know what you know. Share if you care, okay? And see, you have Ace of Wands at the bottom. A new beginning, a new start. Already showing up, okay? Very passionate, fiery new beginning as well. New beginning in a career. Taking action on something, okay? It's kind of like the fire being lit under your ass again. Temperance, yeah, and he knows he has to be patient. He knows that patience is definitely a virtue. It's been heavily required at this time. Okay, I just heard like his soul has been restored, or his spirit has been restored. And some people, whether you're a Tory Lanez or just your average Tom, Dick, or Harry, some people do need the most drastic situations to be sat down for a little while to learn the lesson that they need to learn. It's unfortunate that it has to be this way for some people, but yeah, as someone who was, very involved with the particular person who had to learn the lesson the hard way by having to sit down in a cell, yeah, some people have to learn the hard way. And the thing about the universe, about God is, you'll be tapped on your shoulder multiple times. You'll be tapped or shown signs and symbols multiple times before something drastic like this has to occur. Okay? Because he was definitely out here spreading it wide and spreading it thin. Tory, okay? And it's almost as if his spirit team was trying to get him to calm the fuck down way before Megan came around, the situation at Kylie's house. So, yeah. I hate to say it like that, but oh my God. But it is what it is. Ooh, you saw that? Hold on a second. Damn. My bad, y'all. I had to get up and pick the cards up off the floor. I'm going to keep the ones that fell on the table. Normally, I would have put them back, but I'm going to keep the ones that are on the table. But there's way too many that fell out on the floor. So my apologies. Look, the Chariot. For the first one I'm seeing, the Chariot, Cancer energy. Sorry for like the bit of the glare in the camera, you guys. I got to figure out my lighting situation to get that glare away. But the Chariot, Cancer energy. This can talk about police or vehicular transportation, okay? And I just said how he kind of needed to slow his ass down way before getting anywhere near Megan or Kylie or what's her name? What's the other girl's name? Kelsey, okay? But Chariot can represent vehicular transportation, police, movement forward. The Chariot usually overcomes very rough, tumultuous obstacles as the winner. They come out very strong, confident, valiant, overcoming a lot of obstacles very successfully. So that's a good first card to see. The Empress. Wow. Okay. More Taurus energy. I don't know if he has Taurus in his chart, but, he could just really be on a trajectory to gain some more financial prosperity here, okay? Taurus literally rules finances and the banking system. Venus energy, the Chariot and the Empress. This is really nice. Now, of course, we know that he was married for a short period of time while, being incarcerated. He does have a son, okay? So his child's mother could be important. But I'm not really picking that up. I feel like this is more so him. Patience, understanding, a nourishing type of energy, because I just said a little while ago how people that he's locked up with, they could hold him in a very high regard because, he helps people or he shows up for people in an emotional way, a spiritual way, someone who provides guidance. And the Empress, whether you are a man or a woman, that makes a lot of sense, okay? Wow, what is this? The Chariot and the Empress? I know, and wow, okay, so as a medium, I'm channeling his mother's energy. His mother had, passed away when he was young, but she could really be making herself known in this situation, or maybe showing up in his dreams and things like that, when maybe he hasn't had a dream about her in a long time. So it's almost like, wow, so I saw my mother in my dream. And now this, if you had a personal read with me, then I'm pretty on point, but I don't know Tory Lanez personally. So if somebody wants to ask him, hey, did you have a dream about your mom? Please come back and confirm with me because that's kind of what it feels like. So it's as if, if his mother is showing up in his energy, it's like, oh yeah, that's how I know for certain something here is about to go. Something here is about to change for me. Big break. Like mom is showing up, popping up, or confirming something from me. Spiritually, or again in my dreams and my visions, yeah, something here is about to go. That could be just a good sign for him, or maybe you ask for a sign, something positive is going to go in your direction. Well, show me my mother in my dream then. And that could have been his confirmation. Allegedly, entertainment purposes only. Okay, King of Wands, that's his energy. On top of it could also be, you know, the aristocrat, the people in charge. We know that these people in very high, powerful places, including a King of Wands, okay, that Sagittarius man that, yeah, if you know, you know. He could also be the emperor slash empress because, you know, they are the powers that be, the people in charge, as to why he's even in this situation in the first place, kind of outside of his own doing, yes. But either as the reason why it's still being dragged and he's still locked up for this long, yeah. The King of Wands, that's the aristocrat, okay, and the nobility, the privileged, the one in the club, because Tory's the King of Wands, not in the club. The King of Wands that's in the club, okay, if you catch my drift here, is the fucking problem. Hangman is showing up here too, and Five of Wands. So Hangman, Five of Wands, conflict, bickering, arguing. The Hangman can be a change of perspective, maybe also a bit of a pause, needing to release or let something go. So again, yeah, this is like, I just heard a sacred pause. This could be a sacred pause. And even though he may fight with himself a lot, or he's slowly but surely, as the days go on, starting to have a better understanding as to why certain things are moving the way that they are, or why certain things may have to take place first before it circles back to him to liberate him, okay? So he's having to change his perspective on a lot of different things is what it's giving, okay? But yeah, Five of Wands, it's the conflict, competition. He could be trying to avoid like physical altercations and fights in there. He doesn't trust a lot of people at all. Like he be helping people, people love him, you know, in his current situation, his environment, but he doesn't trust a lot of people. I did a reading maybe like a year ago how he fears, you know, people that are in charge of the jail, like poisoning his food or his drink. You know, there was a period where he wasn't really eating a whole lot. I picked up with him because of that fear, you know. This is Hangman and the Five of Wands, please. And I find it interesting how this King of Wands, I mentioned the King of Wands, one of them is in the club, right? And then the other King of Wands, being Tory, is not in the quote-unquote club. Just how Donald Trump was an outsider of said club, okay? Quote-unquote. But this King of Wands landed over the soul contract in Big Break. So just because he didn't want to sign with you, or you may have gassed him up and told him this would be his big break, oh my gosh, blah, 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 and he still said fuck you and didn't want to sign with you, Three of Swords, there could be some validity to that. As surface level as that may sound to some people, when you have a big fucking ego and you see someone out here like a Tory making all this money selling EFTs, you know, going platinum and all that stuff on your own, and I want you, but you don't want to fuck with me, and you're messing with the girl that I fucked with, allegedly, Megan Thee Stallion, entertainment purposes only, allegedly, yeah, there's going to be drama, there's going to be strife. Of course, this person's going to try to come up against you. So I know it sounds surface level to some people, but that's kind of literally what I'm seeing here. Damn. Okay. Page of Swords. Someone who's like willing to learn, a little bit of gossip, watching, analyzing. Damn. Just as I was talking about the other, the Sagittarius man, okay, who's going to be crumbling at the seams before we know it, he could be like watching and keeping tabs on this situation. Like, sir, you need to worry about your own fucking situation. Like, you've got much bigger fish to fry that has a lot to do with Tory, but in the same breath, it's like you got your own shit to worry about. He watches this situation very closely, is what I'm seeing. Yeah, heartbreak, because a lot of these secrets are about to be revealed and come out with the moon in reverse. You can't make this stuff up. Okay, what is this? Page of Swords. And Tory, you know, he What is this Page of Swords? Two of Wands, okay? And the Five of Cups. Yeah, so he can be a little disappointed about certain decisions he's made, Tory, obviously, you know. Like, he has certain regrets about certain things. Like, damn, what if I would have gone left instead of going right? Okay, he struggles with that. But in the same breath, he knows that he has to not stay there for too long because it can literally block the progress that he's trying to create. You can't manifest with guilt or fear or doubt or resentment, anger. It's not going to work. So he could just have some regrets here about certain choices he's made. Obviously so, right? Two of Wands can be a choice card, a decision. The globe is like literally in the middle there. It's like he's trying to maintain his confidence, maintain his strength, not let it go, not lose it. He's very like intellectual. He's actually very like smart and very articulate, Tory. Damn, I just heard he could be teaching somebody how to read in there. Cause you never know. Everybody's situation is different, y'all. Like, everybody's situation is different. He could be teaching a youngin in there, like some YNs, like how to read, or again, how to pray, how to meditate and things like that. And they're soaking it up. Okay. Wow. What is this? And I see him trying to like reanalyze or really figure out what is it he's going to do, what kind of moves he's going to make moving forward when he does get out. If somebody wasn't expecting to get out for 10 fucking years, they probably wouldn't be making plans for the future yet. But I see this person making plans for the future with this Two of Wands. Okay. Knight of Swords. Okay, so this could be someone rushing in to communicate a sense of urgency, a major lifestyle change. Sometimes like ready to pop off or curse somebody out. Yeah, Six of Wands, the Tower. Ooh, Queen of Swords. Wow, okay. Now, Six of Wands is a win. It's a victory. That is Leo energy again. Now, this Queen of Swords, we were just talking about who? Miss Stallion here, okay? She's the Aquarius in the dynamic. He's got some very choice words for her, but he's trying to take the high road, or when he gets out, he's going to try to take the high road, even though he has a lot to say about that. He wants to try to take the high road as much as possible. Now, this Queen of Swords can be a lawyer, a judge as well. The truth coming out, the truth being revealed. And the Queen of Swords, you know, this is not a truth that's beating around the bush. It's very direct, very straight up, very clear. And with the Tower and the Six of Wands, it's giving a very shocking surprise, something that somebody or people didn't expect to happen, some type of win or victory that's literally unexpected. And I think in my lunar eclipse reading that I just did, if I'm not mistaken, the Six of Wands came out. I don't really remember, but I remember seeing this combination recently, the Tower and the Six of Wands. So the Tower is not always doom and gloom. The Tower with the Six of Wands is a pleasant surprise, a good surprise, a surprise of victory, success, recognition, confidence. And with this Queen of Swords, it may just come after some type of court proceeding, some type of revelation, a truthful, honest conversation, law enforcement getting involved. Wow. Ooh, okay. I don't know why I had a vision like that, but I just had a vision of like a herd of horses just, it looks like Game of Thrones, like a herd of horses just ramming into one another. It could be some type of like spiritual warfare, okay? Because it literally looks like a scene in my third eye of Game of Thrones. Like, you got the good guys and the bad guys. They're all on horses with swords and shields, and they're just clashing now. So it's giving Clash of the Titans. This is literally like a spiritual clash of the Titans. Okay, it's kind of what it's giving. And this Knight of Swords is a rapid message, a sense of urgency. Things happening very quickly. Wow, that's why it's coming through like the Tower, just a shock, like out of the blue. And I've channeled that energy before where the news with Tory, like people are gonna just be scrolling, okay, whatever, movie trailers, Olympics, whatever, blah 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 blah, and then it's gonna be like, boom, what the fuck? Tory Lanez got out of jail. What? Like, or the surveillance, the video that everybody's been wondering if there's a video. Yes, there's a video. It's just gonna pop up on the timeline, and people are gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, it's just gonna hit out of nowhere. Like, look who it is. King of Swords right here. Look, I just told y'all, law enforcement, judge, lawyers, like, the truth shall set you free. Seven of Pentacles, it's been a long time coming. He's been patiently waiting for this. Patiently waiting for this. Just like the general public has been patiently waiting for this. The Hierophant is because the Most High has brought it together. The Divine has brought it together. He stayed focused. He stayed prayed up. He stayed in his truth. And that's why things are going to work out in his favor. Taurus energy here again, the Hierophant. Taurus energy is so heavy. And look, Two of Cups, because there's some type of relationship or partnership going on in the background. I told you there's someone he's connected to that's of high status, who's connected to somebody else of higher status that's going to help him. And whoever this person is that's of higher status could literally be in higher institutions of learning or government with this Hierophant. Yeah, King of Cups. And whoever this person is that is aware of his situation, that's connected through someone else to Tory, or whoever this person is that's connected to Tory, that's telling this high level status person, they're in their feelings about this. They're not okay with the situation that he's in. They want to know the truth, or they're trying to get to the truth just as much as you, me, and Dupree are. Okay, and I was getting the energy of like Donald Trump. So, and he would technically be a King of Swords, Donald Trump. He is a Gemini. So I don't want to say it's him. It could be some other political leader that has a lot of say so, maybe just in the state of California. But yeah, things are about to change very quickly. And these relationships that are happening in the background are divinely guided, divinely orchestrated. Okay, someone here wants to invest in him, or they're invested into this situation very heavily. Okay, and maybe that's why things are going to change or happen so rapidly, and things are a little quiet, a little stagnated right now, because they need it to be. Like, this shit, when I say like it's going to be like one of those emergency weather alerts that just pop up on your phone, and then your phone just stops working because you got a weather alert or an amber alert. It's going to be like that, just all of a sudden, like either the surveillance video or him getting out, like the news, one or the other. But it's going to hit the timeline just out of nowhere at the drop of a dime. And look, you got the High Priestess. You can't make this up. You got the High Priestess at the bottom. And look what else was there too. The King of Swords. Again, I know y'all just seen me shuffle. Secretly working in the background on some type of truth and clarity. Or there's lawyers, judges, people in the background in very high places working in silence right now. Oh, wow. You can't make this up. Three of Pentacles. And then you've got the Judgment here. You can't make this up. The High Priestess is high-level secrets. This is attached to a very high-level secret. Not just with Tory, but again, there's so much underneath the surface here when it comes to who's running the state of California. Ooh. Yeah, this is crazy. The King of Swords and the High Priestess, like truth to the secrets that have been held in the dark for a very long time. People are working together in silence right now. Okay, they're not trying to blow their cover or be too loud or nothing like that. Again, this Virgo full moon energy, it's not dramatic, it's not loud, it's not front and center, it's not chaotic. It's the feeling of the shift before the shift occurs. Okay? And then look at this. You've got the Judgment card right here at the bottom. It's final decision time. Karmic energy is wrapping up. Archangel Gabriel blowing the horn, finally. It's giving like a massive judgment day, okay? Wow. The truth shall set you free. I'm telling you guys right now, like, nobody's going to expect this. Of course, I don't know the day, time, or the hour, but nobody is going to expect this. Especially when things have been so quiet. We got the denial, the rejection that came through from the court. When I say this shit is going to hit like a fucking freight train, either, again, some type of video surveillance, and this earth, this globe on the Two of Wands with the Page of Swords is definitely giving like the World Wide Web, people watching and observing, more information coming out throughout the means of the World Wide Web. Oh, man. Ha! And look, you got the next couple of weeks at the bottom. But let's get a little bit of a time frame on this, please. Of course, nobody knows the day, the time, of the hour besides the Most High, but I'm feeling intuitively something around the summertime, like July, August. Taurus season is in May. A major tower movement may happen by May. That'll just knock the dominoes over for June, July, August. Allegedly, entertainment purposes only, okay? Please don't take that and, you know, seal it, but it's kind of what it feels like. April. Wow, okay. April is showing up here. 1 and 8 is 9. So we're already in March, so something significant could happen in April. Again, like bits and pieces of the foundation that need to be broken apart so things can start to come up and resurface. A major crack in the foundation may occur come April, which would again just kind of knock down another domino we need to be knocked out of the way in order to get to the promised land. Okay, what is this, please? Can we get a time frame, please and thank you. Oh, it's the right time to take action. Okay, so then you have the number 6. The number 6 is what? June. I just said that. June, July, August. So let's see. That's how you know action is currently being taken at this time. September. Wow, you have 8 and 1. So 18, that's 9. September, Virgo season technically, right? 23. 2 and 3 is 5. So again, Taurus energy. May, like a Taurus could just be very significant in this energy. Taurus season, if I'm not mistaken, is April, isn't it? Very late April into early May. So yeah, and then it says timing is pushed back due to blockages. Number 40. We've already clarified these blockages. What is this, please? Time frame. Next new moon. Okay, 49 is the number 13. The next new moon, I believe, is in Pisces toward the end of March. I don't think anything massive is going to happen by the end of March, but slowly but surely, like the small nuances that people may not think have anything to do with Tory could surface around springtime, which will then in turn knock over certain dominoes, which will directly affect Tory. Okay, I hope that makes sense what I'm saying. Or something around the new moon in April, or maybe again the new moon in Taurus. The new moon in Taurus wouldn't be until probably May. Yeah. And here it is again, the next couple of weeks. The next couple of weeks technically is April. You want more, please? Wow, this is crazy. Okay. You want more, please? Ah! And then it says number 50, again, a number 5, again, May. It's time to take a break. Okay. That's what's happening right now. Like things are actively moving. There's action being taken, but things are seeming a little quiet, a little stagnated right now. With this, it's time to take a break. And again, it says timing is being pushed back due to blockages. And the blockages would be, again, the people that are in these very high level places. Oh. Next spring. Okay, number 11. I don't see it as far as next spring, but this spring is significant because certain dominoes are falling in order to lead up to the summertime, which I think something more significant will happen toward the summer versus something happening in the next couple of weeks, if I'm going to be honest with you guys. Of course, I could be wrong. The timeline could be sped up, but I just feel like there's still certain things in the foundation that need to show up first when it comes to other major players, and then it'll circle right back to Tory in due time. Okay? Timing is much farther in the future. Okay, the number 57. We got a number 12 here. Next fall. Again, the number 12. Okay. I feel like things would have been wrapped up by then, at least when it comes to Tory's case. I do feel like, though, when it comes to the real downfall of like Jay-Z and Desiree Perez and them, Roc Nation in general, I don't necessarily feel like they could go to jail. I feel like they're already facing jail time, but you know, the final nail in the coffin may be a little further into next year, okay? But there are definitely moving pieces going on right now as we speak that are leading up toward the summertime of this year. But there are blockages in the way here. And we already know what those blockages are. So that's why that needs to be cleared up first before the flashlight is turned back on to Tory, okay? So very interesting. I'm definitely going to leave this reading here, you guys. I do hope that it was helpful or that you guys were able to take something from this. These deep dives can get a little lengthy, I know. So I appreciate y'all so much for hanging in there and for sticking around and for supporting the channel. I appreciate y'all so much more than you know. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys so much. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.